Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night if you guys are out there in the world. So one of the biggest things that everyone has been talking about for the last couple of years is UBI, Universal Basic Income. Now, a lot of people would not accept this. In fact, a lot of people still think that this is a conspiracy theory and that, oh, it's not going to happen. It's the same exact thing with CBDCs, right? Everyone still thinks that we're going to block CBDCs and we're going to stop them in their tracks and they're not going to happen, even though 93% of central banks are already moving on CBDC initiatives. At the end of the day, significant change is on its way. We already know this. Something very big is coming that's going to shake up the global financial system and usher us in to this new age. Now, could that be a technological advancement that we've never seen in history? 100%. AI, artificial intelligence. Guys, we've been warned time and time again in the past about AI taking over. I mean, look at all of the dystopian films. Look at all of the films about robots taking over and replacing humans. And now, as we do see technology advancing so fast, we do question, what's life going to look like in 5 years? Well, there's a great video that got posted by Subjective Views, and this is actually the managing director of the International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva, and she's saying that roughly 40% of jobs will be exposed to AI and compares it to a tsunami hitting the labor market. Listen closely to this.
These prospects, however, can be brightened if we are to make full use of technological advancements like the development in artificial intelligence, but only if we are ready for them. We have done some analysis at the IMF. It shows that roughly 40% of jobs over the next years will be exposed to artificial intelligence. This is like a tsunami hitting the labor markets. Some jobs will disappear altogether. Jobs we don't know would exist will come. Jobs will be enhanced or diminished. And we know that we can only make use, in other words, take advantage of opportunities if we are ready for them. What our analysis shows is that the level of preparedness for the arrival of artificial intelligence is very different across the world. We have countries, including UAE, that are much better prepared, but majority of countries are still falling behind, especially in terms of infrastructure, digital infrastructure, and its accessibility for everyone, and very important in terms of labor market developments, skills developments for the new world of artificial intelligence. As we think about fiscal priorities, clearly this is one that we have to embrace fully.
Now, the thing about this, right, is that she's talking about this new AI world that's basically being built. And I also think it's the number one reason why we are starting to see major distractions being pushed with all of these VR headsets, and make sure that you're, looking into these things because they're so disruptive, they're so life-changing, and it's really kind of preparing us for this future where AI is taking over. We're on UBI, and we're basically living in a falsified world, aka the metaverse. If you guys watch the movie Ready Player One, although yes, there's a lot of nonsense in it, in the beginning stages of the video or of the movie, they actually explain to you that people are living in the metaverse, or the game, if you will, because real life, actual life, is depressing. There's no point to human existence, and it's because of AI replacing jobs and technology advancements being so disruptive. And it's crazy because we're kind of living in the pre-steps to that point. And when we go over here, we have from Kristalina Georgieva, this goes back to November, by the way, the Bahamas, Jamaica, and Nigeria now have central bank digital currencies, and more than 100 countries are in the exploration stage. Remember, CBDCs are just another step in the UBI launch. Now, do I support this? Am I happy about all of this? No. But I do think everyone needs to prepare for this. Because if you're not prepared for what's happening, you will be left behind and you will be on UBI. It's as simple as that. Now, how are they going to force us into UBI? How are they going to force all this upon us? Well, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time. We're still probably a few years away from this. But with how fast technology is advancing, especially around AI, I would argue that this is going to happen before, I would argue, 2035. And I know that that is a pretty substantial step away. It's 11 years, but I'm just estimating it. It could happen a lot sooner depending on how fast technology is advancing. But we have over here, IMF says central bank digital currencies can replace cash. This is not the time to turn back. And again, this is Kristalina Georgieva. She's saying that the public sector should keep preparing to deploy central bank digital currencies and related payment platforms in the future. We have not yet reached land. There is so much more space for innovation and so much uncertainty over use cases. As of June of 2023, only 11 countries have adopted CBDCs according to data from the Atlantic Council. But the thing is that they're moving very fast on this. There's already over 100 countries plus in this exploration stage. And like I said, with how fast technology is advancing, I would not be surprised if this happened over the course of the next 6 years by 2030. But remember, the best way to prepare for this is to make sure that you are holding pieces of the future. And when I say that, I mean make sure that you are doing the research and investing into crucial infrastructure, because that is going to set you apart from the distracted public that will be accepting UBI, because guess what? They were too distracted to actually look into what is happening. Ripple is one of the companies that pivoted and actually tapped into CBDCs. They issued out a white paper on CBDCs back in December, and it was talking about the potential of CBDCs, more so financial inclusion, streamlining cross-border payments, reinforcing monetary policy control, things like that. And remember, Kristalina Georgieva even said, in lower economic areas around the world, guess what? They don't have financial inclusion. They need something like this. And that is all the beginning stages of pushing CBDCs, UBI, and this new financial system. And if you are oblivious to what has been happening, guess what? That new financial system is coming. It's on its way. It's already in process. But also remember, Ripple also has the CBDC and stablecoin platform. And this is something that we have been watching for a while, because do you think that it's just a coincidence that they are launching this? Do you think that it's a coincidence that they are issuing out a white paper? And do you think that's a coincidence that they are in conversation with over a dozen governments for CBDC development? And guess what? We actually know that it's over 20 to 30 central banks that they are in discussions with. So think about how crazy that is. And by the way, we know that world debt right now just crossed $225 trillion in an up-only fashion. This is what playing with fire looks like. And look at how insane this is. Now, I question, does this look sustainable to you at all? If you are answering yes, you have to be crazy. When we look at debt, right, the whole world is running on this false narrative, this idea that debt is what makes these markets. That is not the way things work. We are ushering in to the fourth industrial revolution, and it's all catering to the idea of AI, metaverses, digital currencies, digital systems. This is all by plan. They want the old system to collapse so that they can usher in this new system. And it's all going to be dominated by AI, digital currencies, UBI. And the reason why is go back to 2017. This was the New World Order agenda. Elon Musk on robots and universal basic income at the World Government Summit. Guys, this is 2017, mind you. There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. I think we will just end up doing universal basic income. It's going to be necessary. Listen closely to this.
There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. Okay. What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income. I think it's going to be necessary.
So it means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe.
Yeah.
Because there is no job, machine, robot is taking over.
That's simply and I want to be clear that these are not things that I think that I wish would happen. These are simply things that I think probably will happen. And if my assessment is correct and they probably will happen, then we need to say, what are we going to do about it? And I think some kind of a universal basic income is going to be necessary. Now, the output of goods and services will be extremely high. So with automation, there will come abundance. There will be almost everything will get very cheap. I think the biggest. I think we'll just end up doing universal basic income. It's going to be necessary. The harder challenge, much harder challenge, is how do people then have meaning? Like a lot of people, they derive their meaning from their employment. So if you don't have, if you're not needed, if there's not a need for your labor, how do you? What's the meaning? Do you have meaning? Do you feel useless? That's a much harder problem to deal with.
And this is exactly why they're trying to create the metaverse, and they're pushing that narrative, and they're pushing all these VR and AR, headsets to, give you that sense of meaning in a falsified world, because the world that we know of today is moving towards automation, moving towards replacing humans. This is all happening, and this is 2017. And we just recently got another glimpse at this back in November, and we won't have universal basic income. We'll have universal high income. And this is definitely interesting now that it's kind of changing a little bit. Listen, they don't have to spice this up. We know that UBI is what we're getting. We know this. AI is moving extremely fast, which I will talk about in this video as well. But listen closely to this.
What would your kind of observation be on AI and the impact on labor markets and people's jobs, and how they should feel about that as they think about this?
Well, I think we are seeing the most disruptive force in history here. Where we have for the first time, we will have for the first time something that is smarter than the smartest human. And that, it's hard to say exactly what that moment is, but there will come a point where no job is needed. You can have a job if you want to have a job for sort of personal satisfaction, but the AI will be able to do everything. So I don't know if that makes people comfortable or uncomfortable. That's why I say if you wish for a magic genie, that gives you any wishes you want, and there's no limit. You don't have those three wish limit nonsense. You just have as many wishes as you want. It's both good and bad. One of the challenges in the future will be, how do we find meaning in life if you have a magic genie that can do everything you want? I do think it's hard. When there's new technology, it tends to usually follow an S-curve. In this case, we're going to be on the exponential portion of the S-curve for a long time, and you'll be able to ask for anything. It won't be, and we won't have universal basic income. We'll have universal high income. So in some sense, it'll be somewhat of a leveler or an equalizer, because really, I think everyone will have access to this magic genie.
So there you guys have it. And again, this is how they include everyone, financial inclusion. This it's happening at a cost, right? We got to understand what's going on here. That's why, when everyone's always saying like, oh, like, when is XRP going to be worth this much? When is XRP? I think that we need to look at this market a little bit differently. I really think that we need to look at everything a little bit differently, because what is the value of fiat currency? I mean, what they tell you? What's going to happen when hyperinflation comes? What's going to happen when they crash the financial system? What's going to happen when AI is replacing jobs like this? And when we look at AI, I just recently talked a little bit about this. Like, AI videos are now becoming hyper realistic, where they are becoming extremely hard to see that this is actual AI and not real life. Like, distinguishing AI videos from real life now, it's crazy. And with how fast AI videos like this and AI as a technology is advancing, I do think that we really need to be worried. I think that we need to be concerned about where AI will be in 6 months, a year, 3, 4, 5 years from now. I don't think people are prepared for what's coming. I honestly believe that majority of the population is not even aware of how disruptive this is going to be. When we got ChatGPT, everyone was jumping for joy. Oh, this is great. This is going to save me so much time. And that's exactly why AI will continue to advance and continue to infiltrate everyday life. Slowly, but then all at once, it will completely disrupt everything. And that's exactly why we are starting to see the narrative being pushed around UBI, around CBDCs. I mean, when you have the IMF director who has been pushing for CBDCs for so long, she's tied back to the World Economic Forum, and then she's also talking about how roughly 40% of jobs will be exposed to AI. I personally think that it's going to be 100%. I mean, think about what AI can't really do. A lot of people think that, oh, AI won't replace, general contractors until they do. Think about it. When you have AI advancing as fast as it is, I do think that robotics and how fast things have happened in just like the last couple of years, I think that's only a matter of time until AI becomes extremely disruptive to every single job, every single field, every single sector. And I do think that we need to prepare for that. I think that we need to be aware of this, especially if you are in the younger generation, because it's something that's going to hit hard and it's going to hit fast. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.